నీ గురించి కాదేమో అయితే నేను ఏమనుకున్నాను
Am I audible? Anyone have to please respond? Am I audible? Okay. 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 almost 2 o'clock, but still so many people are need to join. Somebody are with the name. As I told you, for joining the class, you are supposed to be come with your register number. Okay. Right. Let us start discussing how to delete a linked list and how to delete a node from the linked list. Right. So in the last class, we have seen how to insert a new element at a specified position in the linked list. Now we will see how to delete an element from the linked list. Yeah. So deletion operation, if you observe, uh, if you want to delete an element, you can delete. The constraint here itself is when you want to delete any is it visible to everyone? Please respond in the chat box. Okay. So deletion operation can be performed on a linked list. You can delete an element from the list anywhere in the sense. Right. Delete the element from the linked list. Here the constraint is whatever the element that it was deleted will not be returned. So the element which you have deleted from the linked list, it will not be returned. Right? Simply whatever the node which you want to delete from the linked list, you can delete it. That's it. So that is the process in it. Now let us see an example program how we are going to be delete an element from the linked list. Share the screen. So is this code is visible to everyone? Is it visible or not? Right. So now let us see what way we can delete the element from the linked list. Yeah. The first part is void push. this is a method which is used for creating a linked list, because if you want to delete an element from the linked list, you are supposed to have a linked list. So for that, here I was created a method through which I want to create a linked list. As we have discussed in the previous classes, how to create a single linked list. In such a way, here also, I'll try to create a new linked list, right? And right. So now let us see the code how to delete an element. Here our assumption is we have a linked list. Now we want to delete a node from the linked list. So a node can be either it may be a beginning of the node, or it may be a middle of the linked list, or it may be end of the linked list. So you can delete any of these three positions. So if you want to delete from the starting position, what we have to do, and if we want to delete it from the middle of the linked list, what we have to do. So these all, and if you want to delete at the end, that is last node, what way we are supposed. So for all these things, we need to specify the position from which we want to delete a node. So that is the reason we'll take position from the user, and this code will try to delete the element in the position itself. Now, if head is equals to null, what it indicates? If head is equals to null indicates, that means if the list contains 0 nodes. If the list contains 0 nodes, then you cannot delete element from it. So that is the reason first you need to verify whether a list is exist or not. So if it is null, simply it returns to the calling environment, because there is no nothing to perform any operation. If it is not the case, that means the list is filled with some value. So you have a linked list. Now we have assigned a temporary name called temp to the starting position of the linked list. That is, always, as you know, linked list points the starting node as head, and the last node is represented with the tail. So that's why I'll assign a temporary name called temp to the first position, right? So if the position is equals to 0, the next one is the position is equals to 0. That means what it indicates? Yeah, you want to delete element from the beginning of the list. So that means the head node you want to delete. If you want to delete the head node, you can specify the position as 0. So if it is the case, what we have to do? So that means in that case, head is equals to temp dot next, because always when we are performing any operation, always we are supposed to start from the head node onwards. So in this case, we want to delete the starting node, that is head. Okay. In order to delete the starting node, what we have to do is we need to move the starting node from first position to second position, so that after deleting the first node, the head representing the second node as the first one. So that is the reason we need to move the head from first position to second position before deleting the first node. So for that reason, we wrote the code like head is equals to temp dot next. What is temp? Initially we have assigned a name to the starting node. Temp is the temporary name which we are assigning it to the first node. So temp dot next in the sense always it represents the second node. So we'll move the name head from first node to second node. Right? If that is the case, if you want to delete the first element. Otherwise, if you want to delete second element or third element or fourth element or whatever it may be other elements, so for that what we need to do, we need to move our position from temp position from current location to the desired position. Current location to the desired position. That means initially temp is representing the starting node. Now we need to move that temp from first position to the position where we want to delete the element. So for that reason, here I will run the for loop. For I equals to 0 and temp not equals to null. Temp not equals to null and I is less than position minus 1. I is less than position minus 1. As you know, the array index, the index will be starts from 0 onwards. So that's why always we'll run it from the position minus 1, less than position minus 1. So position minus 1, right? And we need to check whether the position value is greater than the number of elements which are present in the linked list. Suppose if your list contains 5 elements, if you give the position value as 6 or 7, in that case you cannot perform the deletion operation, right? So for that we need to verify whether if it is in between the or if it is within the count of the number of nodes of the linked list. So this particular loop will check whether the position number is less than it or not. All right. Now, node next is equals to. Now we have what is the position of temp right now? After moving like this, it should be less than the position minus 1. That means it represents the previous node. Previous node in the sense the node which we want to delete, that is current node. Previous node means the node before the current node. Okay. Now we are at that position. Node next is equals to temp dot next dot next. I'll show you diagrammatically how it will be. You can think like that. The first A is the node dot next, B is the node dot next, and C is the node dot next dot next. C is the node dot next, right? All of you understand this, right? So in the similar way, here also node next is equals to temp dot next dot next. Node next is equals to temp dot next dot next. Right? So temp dot next is equals to next. So as you can observe in the diagram itself, directly it disconnects the So simply it disconnects the connectivity between the current node and the next node, and automatically the previous node. That means previous node in the sense the node which we want to delete is the current node, and previous node in the sense the node before the current node. So directly we will establish the before node to the next node of the current node with the help of node dot next dot next. right? Now, see, so automatically the current node is going to be deleted. So that is unlink the delete node from the list. Now this is the code for printing the linked list, right? Now let us see how it will be executed, whether it produces the correct result or not. Now you can check here. I was created a list. As I told you, the method push is used for creating the linked list. So in this case, each and every time I need to supply the data of the each node, and a new node will be created with the data supplied by through the push method, okay, as an argument, and it just simply creates the node. So now what you are expecting after executing this particular code, okay, a linked list will be created with 71328, okay. So that is the linked list which it is supposed to create, right? Let us check whether it creates the linked list in such a way or not. Yeah. So here the list was created with 82317, because here I was created the linked list in the fashion of push operation. Push operation in the sense always the last element is at the top. So in such a way I was inserted. So that's why instead of 712328, it prints the value as 82317. No issue. Here you need to think about whether the list is created or not with the elements or with the data supplied by you. Order, okay, we can just simply we'll change the code automatically. It will be displayed at 71328. No issue. And now how to delete that element, right? In our case, here I was given the position as 4. The position as 4. That means I want to delete the element which is at the position 4. As you know, always here the list contains 5 elements. So that is the reason fourth node, in the sense it is the last node, because index starts with 0. So 5 minus 1, 4. So fourth node means it is the last node. So that means in our list, yeah, 82317, in this the last node is 7. So when you supply the position as 7, automatically the last node is deleted. You can observe this output 8231 only. Suppose if I want to delete the first element, what I have to do? I need to supply the position number as 0. 0 indicates the first node. Now let me execute this program. Yeah, you can observe the original list contains 82317. I don't know what happens. Frequently it was minimized. Why it was moved like that? So there is some problem with my system. Okay. Please bear me for this time. Okay. So here the original list is 82317. From that, I want to delete the first node. I want to delete the first node. So that what happens here, the first node is 8. If I specify the position number as 0, position number as 0, that is the reason the first element in the list, that is 8, was deleted from it. Suppose if I give it is a 3, for example. 3 in the sense you want to delete last but one element in the list. You can check it out. The last but one element in the list is 1. So in the new list, 1 is going to be eliminated. So in such a way, you can delete a node from the list anywhere, either it from the beginning or it from the last or it from the middle of it. So anyway, you can, right? So this is about how to delete an element into the linked list, right? So in the last class we have seen insertion operation, and this class we have seen deletion operation. Okay, so and you can try a search for an element in the given linked list as an assignment. You can write the code, and you can check in the with the online compilers which are available. You need to verify. You need to write the code for search for an element in the linked list, right? So that is about delete. Now let us move. Another important data structure is stacks. Another important data structure is stacks. So as you all aware of that, stack is also a data structure where the insertion operation will be represented with the name push, and the delete operation will be represented with the name of pop. Okay, and it follows the mechanism of last in, first out. Last in, first out. So whatever it may be, the element which is newly inserted into that will be deleted first. One minute. So so stacks can be implemented with the help of array representation and as well as linked list implementation. But both the cases, we are supposed to implement the functionality of the stack, but only the representations. I mean, array implementation and stack implementation only differs with the memory and the performance issues only, right? Right. Now, let us start discussing with the collections in Java. Later on, we'll see the implementations of stacks, queues, and as well as some of the methods which are available in the collection class, linked list, sets, and all. Now, so what is a collection? A collection in Java is a framework that provides an architecture to store and manipulate the group of objects. Here, a group of objects together will make it as a single one, or and that is what we are called as a collection. Right? Java collection can achieve all the operations that you perform on a data, such as searching, inserting, manipulation, and deleting, sorting. So these are all the operations which you can perform on the collections. So Java collection means a single unit of objects. Java collection framework provides many interfaces. You can observe a set of interfaces in the brackets like set, list, queue, double-ended queue, and classes. Classes are array list, vectors, linked list, priority queues, hash, these all. Now, let us see what is a collection in Java. A collection represents a group of, a collection represents a single unit of objects, that is group, right? So it contains both classes and interfaces. Right? So it is a set of classes and interfaces. Now, what is a collection framework? So the collection framework represents a unified architecture for storing and manipulating a group of objects. Now, I'll show you the hierarchy of collection framework of the Java. So now you can see, so this is iterable is the root class. And you can observe the green color represents the interface, and blue color represents interface, and green color represents the class, and dotted lines represents implements, and thick line represents the extents. You know the difference between class and an interface, right? So an interface will contain only the interface methods. Interface methods in the sense are abstract methods. Interface methods in the sense there is no definition for it. Only a signature will be there. So it is the responsibility of the derived class to implement the functionality for those abstract methods, right? So these are all iterable collections, list, queue. These are all interfaces. Just simply they will have some skill terms, right? Now array list. So if you are observing the list interface, array list, linked list, vectors, and stack. These are all. So here again, yeah, array list, linked list, and vector. These are all the classes. Stack is an enhanced mechanism of the vector class. An enhanced mechanism of the vector class. So these are the classes which implements the list interface, right? And when coming to the queue, priority queue is the class which implements the queue interface. And double-ended queue, so here both linked list and array DQ will implement the interface DQ. And similarly, the set interface will be implemented by hash set and linked hash set. Whereas sorted set interface is implemented by the class tree set. So these are the various classes and interfaces which are present in the collection framework of Java. Right? Now we will see the importance of okay, sorry. Now, is it visible to everyone? Is it visible to everyone or not? Okay, sorry. Yeah. So, now once again you can observe it.